go to blood pressure. Blood pressure too is so simple. If the patient is not on monitoring, that is, it's not a hypertensive, but then we are doing routine observation of the BP. Then when you check, you write it in the line at the time that you checked. So if you check that on admission at 10 a.m., let's say patient came on at 10 a.m. on admission, then the BP was 120/70. It should be noted that it is inappropriate to write the routine BP score in the graph, but in the absence of an appropriate chart, it is written as indicated. Since there is no column for you to do such, please take. Everybody who picks the thing knows that it is 10 a.m. and it was 120/70. If you check it again at 10 p.m., maybe patient made some complaints, so you want to confirm if it's as a result of BP, then you come and chart it at the 10 p.m. column. Maybe 110/60 millimeter of mercury. This is how it's done. So usually for monitoring of BP, that is about 12-hourly interval or more. You just have to write it inside the time. If it's 2-hourly interval, 1 hour interval, then you cannot use this style. You look at how you do it. So remember, we don't write across. If you write across like this, it means this BP is covering 2 p.m. up to 2 a.m. of the next day. If you add the unit 2 p.m. up to 2 p.m. the next day, 24 hours, no. It should be within the time that is what it was checked. Let me also say this. Sometimes you check patients' vital signs at 8 a.m., which is not on the chart. So if it is 8 a.m., you can chart at 6 a.m. because between 8 and 10 is 2 hours. Between 6 and 8 is 2 hours. But 2 hours is a long time for patients' condition can change. So in case 10 a.m. condition changes, then we can chart the actual temperature or the actual vital signs at 10 a.m. So when the time is not on the chart, if it is more than 2 hours away from the next time, or 2 hours to the next time, charting time, chart at the previous time. If it is less than 2 hours, let's say 9:30, it's just 30 minutes to 10 o'clock. So you chart at 10 o'clock. But inside your nurse's notes, you write the note at 9:30. Or you write the note at 8 a.m., even though you charted the temperature at 6 a.m. So that anybody who wants confirmation can go and check from the notes that patient came at 8 a.m., but because 8 a.m. is not indicated here, it was written at 6 a.m. Okay. So let's look at how we chart if the patient is on BP monitoring 2 hours. So here, usually you use the TPR chart for BP monitoring without using it for temperature pulse respiration. That's allowed. Or you can use them together. So you make your own calibrations on this side. That is if you are using this side for temperature pulse respiration. Other than that, the calibration can be made here. So you start from here, 50. Usually we don't expect BP to drop below 50, especially those under monitoring. 60, 70, 80, 90. So now we have made our own numbering here. So when we check temperature, say BP, say on 30th October, 6 a.m., the BP was 210/140. 210/140. They come and look for 210 here. This is 210. This is the line for 210. Then we meet it with 6 a.m. on 30th. Then you make your dots on the horizontal line. Then we, as the same 6 a.m., you go and look for 130, which is here. This is 130 line, this line. Then come and meet it here. Then you have your 130. Then you join the two dots. So anyone who picks this chart knows that the patient's BP at the time was 2:10, 1:30 at 6 a.m. on 30th October. So when you check at 2 p.m. and the BP is now 180/100 or 180, let's say 180/90, then 2 p.m. you come and look for 2 p.m. trace it down to meet where 180 is. This is 180 line. This is the 180 line. So you meet it here. Then 180/90. Then 90 is here. If it's 180/90, then you join the two dots. Good. So when patient is on, say, 2 hourly monitoring or 3 hourly or whatever, below 12 hourly monitoring, you can't be doing these lines alongside temperature, pulse, respiration. That's why I said that if patient is on strict BP monitoring, this whole TPR chart will be for BP. So you need to have another chart for temperature, pulse, respiration, and you have this for the BP monitoring. Okay, so that's it. When you come down here, you have day of disease. So if the first day on admission, you write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. So when anybody picks the chart, the person knows that this is day 4, this is day 5. And usually if this is day 1, then here will be OA, OE, OE. That means on admission, like this. That's the right thing. But maybe patient has been on the ward 12 days, depending on when the patient reported. So this will be the 15 as the 3rd week on admission. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So this, when somebody picks the chart, so here will be continued. What is the 3rd temperature chart? So it cannot be OA. It's not a baseline data. This is assessment, ongoing assessment. When somebody picks the chart and the person is reading vital signs for this day, 1st November, the person can just see that this is the 19th day that the patient is on admission. Sometimes you just pick the chart to look at how many days the patient has been on admission. So if he doesn't refuse or fail to fill this part, you see it wastes time. And in healthcare, wasting time means somebody's disease is getting deteriorated. So you must fill the part. As soon as somebody picks the part, the person can tell that this person has been on the ward for 16 days. And the temperature is still doing this, then it means something is not done right. So we need to improve our care. Good. Then we have bowel and urine that we use to, usually in the mornings when the morning nurses take up. They have to find out if patient was able to pass stools and pass urine, and they chart. Every facility and how they chart. Some facilities chart 0 and 1. That is yes and no. Others also use some symbols like this. So every facility and how they chart it. So if your facility wants this chart rounds to be done every 2 hours, then you chart it under the time. If it is 12 hourly, that is you do 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Then you do it under the time that is indicated for both bowel and urine. So that is all about the vital signs chart. Thank you.